Devil May Cry. It's a phenomenon, a franchise carried on the shoulders of a charismatic idiot, over-the-top action, and the most randomest things you can think of just coming out of nowhere. It has everything: brothers fighting for power, great soundtrack, hot babes, amazing action, crude humor, hot babes, great story, memes, pizza, guns in pizza boxes. And did I forget to mention hot babes? So when Netflix finally dropped their new Devil May Cry adaptation, all I could think to myself was, please don't this up. So before I talk about the show, I think it's very important to let you know that this comes to us from Adi Shankar, the same mind behind the amazing Castlevania series, in that really cool Dark Power Ranger short film, which gives a lot of hope for the show. And to see that man is a Devil May Cry fan, even stating an IGN interview about this show 6 years ago,
I've acquired these rights myself so that the jabronis in Hollywood can't this one up too.
And even a fun little bit that he added at the end was stating that
Devil May Cry will join Castlevania in what we're now calling the bootleg multiverse.
Something that he's been wanting to do for ages. And honestly, I can get behind that type of determination. And with Castlevania definitely standing on its own legs, there's a lot riding on Devil May Cry to be just as good. And the one key factor that was gonna matter the most to fans, regardless of any story, character development, or animation, is if they captured my boy Dante to a T. And I'm here to say they did my boy justice. And that's very important because it wouldn't be Devil May Cry without our boy Dante, the man, the myth, the trench coat wearing legend, with his witty one-liners and a man that's down to shoot a demon baby in the face if he need to. I mean, just look at my man. He is fire. It really feels like they ripped him straight out of the games and threw him right into a TV show. I mean, it is him to a T. And there wasn't any moment that I felt like he wasn't the Dante that I grew up with. This man would be a lovable idiot, busting jokes all the way up to the moment he needed to lock in. And yo, they even nailed how badass this man is in fights. My dude pulled a Lunar Wolf Ranger move and took a man out with a pool ball. Like, my boy, come on, that's peak DMC. And come on, they even did the meme dance sequence. You gotta love it. They even did my boy's demon trigger mode justice. He even got the trench coat with his wings. That is fire. But I think it was very important to highlight that for many fans of the series, as Dante really is a pillar of it. Yeah, there's a lot of other amazing characters in this franchise, but we all know Dante is our main man. And if you messed him up, there wasn't going to be much hope for anything else. And on top of capturing his vibe to a T, they also do great on the soundtrack on this, I have to say. People are definitely not going to be able to react to this. There is too much copyrighted music, but it is awesome. I mean, my boy's theme song is the Limp Bizkit Rollin', 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 the same one that the Undertaker used for his intro sequence. I mean, that is such a perfect match. I would have definitely probably liked to hear a couple more Devil May Cry originals, but I'm happy with what we got for sure, as it complements the animation and action scenes so amazingly. You get to see Dante with some of the coolest animation and action sequences, going all out to our early 2000s playlist that one kid you made sure you was on his nice list would have blasting on his iPod Shuffle. I think getting Studio Mir, the same people behind Legend of Korra and the Witcher specials, was a great choice. But with knowing that they did that boy right and how integral he is to Devil May Cry, it is important to understand the rest of the show and see how it holds up compared to him. And I'll say it holds up pretty good, except for one thing, and I'll get to that in a moment. One thing that I truly appreciate that Adi brings to the table is world building. He doesn't just focus on the big name, he gives the shine to side characters and even deep cut lore. I mean, shoot, the White Rabbit that's the main villain for this is straight out of the mangas, and somehow made a villain that some DMC fans might not even know about into such an amazing character. He was truly one of my favorite characters aside from Dante in the show. I think he was fun and malicious, methodical, and was even a sympathetic character, having a lot of depth to him even with the short amount of runtime they have. This only being 8 episodes. And to see them do that with him, I was excited to see what they were going to do with some other beloved characters. And then walks in good is that lady. Listen, I love my black queens, but Dr. Umar, I might have to let you down with this one. But for real, lady is actually the part that probably where the most debate's gonna be coming from, and kind of my one caveat that I was mentioning. As I said, they totally reworked her whole character. Instead of her being a no-nonsense demon hunter on a revenge arc for her father Arkham, who also has her own charm and is loved by fans, and to many probably probably some's top 3 character, they totally get rid of her whole revenge arc and kind of make you hate her. And this is kind of coming from a fan's POV. Like, I'm not the hardest DMC fan, but I still understand the lore and the characters, and I've played a lot of the game. As instead of Arkham being her main driving force, they kind of kill him off instantly and substitute it with a guy that's a father figure role instead, being the ex-president voiced by Kevin Conroy, who I was just smitten to hear again. Like, I can understand that changed some. It was probably something, since they were gonna probably do this universe and have multiple seasons, it probably worked better that she had this person instead of her father. I mean, he is still part of her backstory, and who knows, her dad's name Arkham, Kevin Conroy voiced the man himself in the Arkham series, but maybe I'm reaching. But I think that's something that might upset fans more than newcomers, and I can kind of understand why they might have done it, since this is a lot of build up and they're probably going to use these characters for multiple seasons. They want to kind of have more room to work with it. But I think the one thing a lot of people are going to start poking at, which I'm already seeing, is that her character is just not that likable. Like I said, they kind of make you hate this chick for a good bit, which I know was somewhat intentional, but I mean, it just doesn't get much better. She really dances the line of the whole Mary Sue stereotype that we're all kind of tired of. I did hear some people complain about how she cusses a lot, which cussing in general I really don't care about, but I will say that it did feel a little too try-hardy, like they were just trying to make her seem like a badass by making her cuss a lot and being edgy. I mean, I have no doubt that Sean Carr can make a good female character. He's done it multiple times. I mean, she had some of the coolest action scenes and her design was amazing. I love her suit. It's just something that definitely will probably have to be ironed out in other seasons. But this is kind of coming from someone that kind of knows the characters and has played some of the DMC games. I'm curious on y'all thoughts. If y'all have never seen DMC or played the games and you just started the anime, what do y'all think about her character? Honestly, I think she might have just worked as an original character, and I think people who just got on will enjoy her. It's just when you attach the name of Lady to her, you kind of have a bit of expectation. And if you think I'm reaching with that comment, I mean, literally look no further than the Devil May Cry reboot. When you strip everything that people love about a character, is it really the same character? You would just be better off making an original character instead. I don't care what anyone says. This is not my Dante. But even saying that, what they did with her in episode 6, which is probably one of my favorite episodes of recent television, kind of redeemed it for me just a little bit. But now that I mention it, I gotta talk about episode 6. So I'll go ahead and tell you, one of the last things I thought I was gonna do while watching an anime Devil May Cry was cry. From the moment episode 6 started, I was captivated. It really reminded me of the last Futurama ending where you had Fry and Leela living their life while time was stuck and it was just the music playing. So imagine that ending, but it being a full episode. And I mean that. There is only 2 lines of dialogue in this whole episode and it's 16 minutes in. The rest is just beautiful visual storytelling with amazing music to match, as it shows 2 characters' backstories and how they're intertwined. And who better to tackle such a feat than a studio that actually has a track record with a show just like this, that uses its visuals to truly captivate you and tell a story. That being Studio La Cachette. Ooh, I sound fancy. But they're the people behind Primal, and they do such an amazing work as we see these 2 characters having 2 totally different animated styles, but all being told the same way. And who knows, the messaging could be a little off for some people, but I found it to be endearing and I enjoyed it. Seeing the dark side of humans and the good side of demons, kind of graying and blurring that line of what it means to be a demon. And I don't want to ruin for you. It's something you just have to go experience for yourself. I just had to bring a light to it. But also I think it's important to say that that last bit is kind of the whole messaging of the show on who's really the bad guys, the humans or the demons, who's really a demon. And I think that's a cool concept, even though they do go a little overboard by having the government really wanting to nuke hell. But it's Devil May Cry. It's supposed to be over the top, so I'm here for it. And that brings me to my last point, is I think the most important thing to tell you while going into this, just like other Artie Sinclair works, his first seasons with these shows are usually a build-up season. So it might not get everything that you want, but I feel like you get enough to get hooked. And once it gets another season or 2 under its belt, that's when the ball really starts rolling. But I think it's an important thing to highlight, as you might be feeling like you're wanting more or you didn't get enough. I think his style can be a double-bladed sword when it comes to it though, just like in the first season of his other show called Son of Zeus, where yeah, it's nice to world build. I get to know stuff about Zeus, I get to know stuff about the main character's brother, I get to know about Hera, but I couldn't tell you ish about the main character. I don't know one single character trait that this guy has. And that's something that they got kind of close with this season, but luckily I think our boy, being such a Dante fan, made sure to put Dante in more scenes and give him enough screen time that I felt satisfied. And I just know once he gets these next seasons out, I think it's a lot to look forward to. I mean, we're going to be getting some Virgil action, some Trish, and who knows where he might go with this, especially that he is setting up to do a bootleg universe with the Castlevania series or whatever he might be doing, and we can speculate that in another video. But for now, I'm sold. I think the people behind this did the best they could and did it justice. And really, besides the lady thing, I enjoyed it. If I went in blind and didn't know nothing about Devil May Cry, I wouldn't really have even noticed. But honestly, I think for a first season, I will have to give this an honest 7.5. It's short, it's sweet, you can finish it in the afternoon, and I think you'll enjoy it immensely. And once the next seasons come kicking in, I can imagine that score going up and up some more. And if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I haven't made a video like this in a minute, and I had a lot of fun doing it. If you want something else to watch from me, YouTube's recommending you this video, so go ahead and click it.